then new coaches on the other side as well. We got a narrow, but I will dominate as well. Suited up.
I know.
Dressed to impress today.
Boys are looking good here over there in double suits. Let's get right into the draft, though, into those coaches.
All right, draft is started up, and Team Liquid, they know all too well about APA Ziggs. They're going to ban that one away immediately alongside the Jace that we've been seeing a lot of in solo queue. Varus Top has been an absolute menace. That's going to be banned away. And on the other side, Akali, Malphite, and Rumble banned out by C9.
And I'm seeing Orianna is still up. So we're looking at some Orianna Azir style trades here for the mid lane. I don't expect, any deviations from that meta. It is.
I got to get used to first pick being on the right side.
For a
first
second,
selection.
I was about to say it looks like we might have a graphics error here, but I've got to get
first selection.
I've got to get my brain used to this with the red side getting the first pick there. C9 takes Azir.
Yep, exactly. Going to be going for the Azir. Azir Ori, very classic matchup. It is really all about, can you force the flash off the Ori if we do have quit selecting it, which is the expectation. APA not known for his Azir, but he did have some good Azir games last split with TL and has really been working on that, trying to expand the champion pool, trying to beat the allegations about his limited champions.
Now, also, we have to think about the top lane here with mid lane taken care of, because with Rumble being banned, Ambessa Renekton is a really big priority here. Huge fan of Ambessa if you don't get countered by Renekton. So a lot of times the strategy you can go for is use it as your third pick here for Team Liquid, and then you get to ban basically safety bans, and you can ban away the Renekton, or you can just pick it yourself there for Morgan. Thanatos versus Morgan is one of our most hyped matchups in the entire league that everyone is looking forward to. As soon as Morgan pickup for Team Liquid was announced, I went into Thanatos' stream and I was like, oh, how do you feel about the pickup? And he was actually really complimentary. He was like, I'm excited for Morgan to be here,
Renekton right here,
to have a really strong competitor. Blabber taking away the Nidalee here from Jose as well is a really big pick. So, like you say, if you always want to have some CC to pair Nidalee with,
I think we're just going to get Nidalee Renekton.
To be able to have that dive, and then this basically dissuades you from taking the Ambessa on the Team Liquid side, which is what I was exactly talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. Renekton is also Morgan's most played all time. And I think, it is one of his most successful, if not his most successful champion. So you are getting a denial pick there. Yeah. You're getting Thanatos on a lane dominant champion. Without a doubt, he was the best laning top laner in the league last year. So you're putting a lot of eggs in the Thanatos basket, which I just think makes so much sense here. Put pressure on Morgan, coming into this new environment.
And the thing is, when you're playing against Renekton Nidalee, you just want to have something safe that even if they target you, even if they dive you, it's not going to be a big problem. Cyan fit that role perfectly, trying to fill it with some sort of tank there. So really good response, I feel like, from Team Liquid. Renekton Nidalee, even if they're going to get that point and click, follow up, should be very resilient up there. And Cyan is just such an amazing front line here to put in front of Corki Orianna double carries. So really good responses, I think, from both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if you dive a Scion, passive pops up, you farm the wave, you get the XP, and then you have home guards now on this new season that allows you to get back to lane even more quickly. It is very difficult to keep Scion down these days. Yunara are going to get banned away so strong on this current patch.
Yeah, I think they're only worried about that more consistent damage from AD carries, even though Varus did get buffs on this patch and is really popular. Unless you're going on hit Varus, you definitely don't want to play lethality Varus into a team that is already showing Scion. So definitely could go some more on hit AD carries here, and there are some good options.
Aphelios, Sivir, things like that.
With a lot of the changes on this patch.
And meanwhile, C9 going to target the jungle there a little bit, getting rid of the Nocturne, kind of removing the opportunity to combo that with the Orianna Shockwave if paired with Quid's Ori. As what are we going to get here from TL? Is it further AD carry focus? And it'll be Alistar instead.
Only worried about the extra engage here, because that's the one thing, if you are locking in Renekton Nidalee, definitely going to want a little bit more solid support here, work coming from Vulcan. So still have options like Rel and Leona and all these types of champions.
Yeah.
Funny thing is that Nico is still up too. And Nico right now, in a lot of the other major regions that have already started playing earlier, been highly prioritized. So still can see that other engage from the bottom lane, and still has a very strong lane itself.
Yeah, absolutely. I I mean, there's lots of options. Obviously, you are banning out the Nautilus here on this side, but you had touched on them. You still have Rel, you still have Rakan, Leona, Nico, even things like Bard, which he has been very successful on. Jarvan, relatively popular on this patch, and would fit the bill, but Jose definitely known for the Lee Sin, so it would be exciting to see him getting this right now.
I mean, Lee Sin's a signature for a lot of players, but Jose definitely really likes it as well. So we'll keep shifting on through here. What else is it going to be? Kiana, interesting, because did get some nerfs, so not quite as powerful as we last saw at Worlds, and we'll just go much more standard here in game number 1 for Team Liquid.
Oh, Sivir Bard. I mean, Bard, Vulcan is very good at the Bard. We'll see if he is going to lock. He did lock it, so is going to be selecting that. I'm curious to see, does TL go more for lane focus, with this Karma, or do they want point and click engage? Obviously, you have the Xin to start off fights, you have the Sign to kind of ult in, but you don't have any like just guaranteed go button. So would be interesting. Sona definitely is really strong, I think, these days. A lot of enchanters.
Tier item for Sona is crazy.
Diadem Echo's healing build is very strong on champions that can both deal damage and heal damage. But Nami, going to be the choice. Normally, often thought of right next to Lucian in most setups, but this time she's laning with a Corki.
When I think of this combo, I kind of think of Doggo and how he would play the Corki so aggressively. With this Nami pairing, you obviously throw the E on him, he goes forward, and he's kind of just forcing people to try to engage on him. There's not really that hard engage over on the C9 side either. So I think Yana's going to try to play really in their face, force them to try to respond to what he is doing. Definitely does have some good range, and they're going to have a really powerful 2v2. It's going to be up to Sven, just kind of like hold the fort down on that bot side, because the focus for C9 clearly going to be up towards the top side, where Thanatos and Blabber need to start snowballing an advantage.
So which side of the draft do you guys like the best here? Our first game in 2026 with all the new changes.
I like TL. I just think it's an easier draft to play. I think there's a lot more pressure on C9 to get things done in the early stages with this Nidalee Renekton, and I think that is the more difficult half of the draft to play.
I feel like it's pretty even in my eyes, because having the double Shurima carries for later too with the Azir and Sivir does give you a lot of options later there too for some team fights. You are going to have to be proactive though with your playmaking. So honestly, I think that with these drafts, in my eyes being very close, it's going to come down to the playmaking. Do you have good Bard ultimates? Bard is such a variable champion, can look completely useless or 1v9. So
1v9 for one team or the other team.
Yeah, we'll see, because Busio left the region, so the title for our best Bard is up for grabs, and Vulcan was making a good case.
Yeah, Vulcan was the one that stood out to me the most in Busio's shadow, was where everybody else stood, but in that shadow, he's the one who stood tallest. We'll see what he can bring here. It is week 1, day 1, game 1 of LCS 2026. We got our two teams that got to compete in the Kespa Cup in the off season for a little bit of extra stage time, a little bit of extra real practice together as a squad, and I think that means a lot in situations like this. I feel like the beginning of every year is always about which team can work together better, faster.
Okay, so the update is that there was a visual bug. So when the player selected their runes, on their screen it showed that they had actually selected the correct rune. But I guess it did not actually update, even though it showed that it did on their screen. So it was obviously a client bug. That's not the player's fault. So there is going to be a remake then for it.
I wasn't going to say anything.
All right, welcome to the Rift. We got TL in the blue. We got C9 on the red. Our best of 3 between the two teams that I think a lot of us have at number 1 and 2 for predictions at the end of lock-in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody but Kangas, I'm told.
Yeah. Lion, another team that a lot of people are very excited about. So it will be interesting to see how their season starts off.
Look at this intimidating Discord messages, by the way.
Saved it.
Yeah, saved it. You see, line by line, you got to keep reading. APA and Quid are very close friends, by the way. This is...
I can tweet this, right?
This is not unprompted. Holy I always love Quid's reactions to these, because he's so wholesome.
Yeah, I mean...
Aren't we homies?
Are we friends? Yes, we are. But now you're the enemy.
Until playoff matches are over.
All right, all right. All bets are off until playoffs are concluded.
All right, the frenemies in mid lane. We'll see how that matchup does go. Currently, Quid getting the early Orianna push there. But should be top-down clears here for both junglers, ending up with possible, gank opportunities towards this bottom lane that are trading pretty heavily.
Yeah, I mean, they both already used both barrier and heal on either side, and potion for all 4 has been popped. Core taking a lot of damage now, but Sven going to have to be careful.
Yeah, pretty good sustain for him. They're looking for the level 2.
Okay, going in further. Sven and Vulcan in retreat. Sven down to about 200 HP. We are going to get some pretty intense trading here, but nobody's in lethal range just yet. Vulcan down to 100 HP as they break away.
And this is the core, no pun intended, of the Team Liquid roster. They rebuilt here. You know, they wanted to keep Yon and Core JJ. For years, we talked about this duo as being the most fearsome bot lane duo that we have in the entire LCS. With the Corki Nami, have a lot of power there. Morgan, though, taking a decent chunk of damage here from the Renekton. And we'll see if the reset here is going to be meaningful. Can Yon and Core JJ actually get that first little baby turret plate? They're going to get the push in at the very least and get their nice recall timer.
Yeah, they'll be able to get this recall, but Home Guard's obviously helping out Sven and Vulcan, you know, being able to get back more quickly. There is less of a punish there.
Yeah, I think it's just when your recall timer goes off, are you going to have the better buy? Because a little dagger for Sivir, that is looking pathetic.
It's not feeling great.
It's not the size of the dagger.
True,
it's how you use it.
He's got one dagger in one hand and then the blade in the other hand. You know,
let's be reasonable.
He's fully equipped. He's a dual wielder.
Exactly.
It's one step above glowing mode, man. Let's be realistic. That thing does not feel very good.
Hey, jack of all trades, glowing mode goes crazy this season.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, some different definitions of crazy, but I like the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
All right, Azale's taking us to the asylum here with the glowing modes. Let's see, top lane here, you're going to see Morgan go ahead, take his first recall, teleport back into lane. Once again, not an amazing buy. It's a cloth armor and a refillable, nothing that you're going to write a postcard home about. But again, his
you guys
job
are really
is just
judgmental
surviving.
about these buys.
The buys aren't great, man. It's an off-brand crappy T-shirt and $1
Everybody's got to start
drink.
somewhere, Flowers.
All right,
you know?
It's not great. It's not fantastic.
Flowers is not a Temu fan here.
No, it's not. It's not the prio. As immediately Yon goes forward. Sven in a little bit of trouble and has to get away through that magical journey. Pops the flash as well. Summoner spells down, and he is in danger here. The bottom lane, once again, going the way of TL.
Oh, and now the wave is going to be held against them. So this time it's actually worse. Last time it was at least pushing towards Sven and Vulcan, but Yon JJ, they got hands. They are just going so aggressive with the trading. Even though the farm is very, very even, these trades all going in Yon and Core's favor.
Yeah, and the minion wave just kind of melting here in front of them too. So TL have a really good position with the minion wave. They have massive sustain advantage because the buy did allow Yon to also get a refillable in addition to having Nami sustain advantage here. So TL, they've got the upper hand in combat power and huge, huge sustain benefits. Yeah, you get these little Cocoa Puffs over here from Vulcan in the back. He's kind of growing up some
nice
extra
little
sustain
Cocoa
there.
Puff farm.
But it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, and I mean, people have been talking a lot about TL, both in scrims and in solo queue. Just recently we had the tag team duos competition.
Yeah, they smurfed.
They took both the top 2 spots, and by a mile, you know, 1K LP or more out of that next spot.
I mean, I was covering this while they were doing this competition. On the final day, with 24 hours still to play, everybody else was playing for the bronze medal. That's it. Like, Team Liquid was so far ahead. The only way that the first place could be upset was by the other Team Liquid duo. It was crazy.
Team Liquid have always had that grind mindset, oftentimes led by Core JJ. You know, he was one of the early ones hosting in-houses before we even had Champions Queue, and really always encouraged, both with Team Liquid's main team as well as their academy team, when they had them, that everybody really prioritized a lot of hours played.
Yeah, Spawn, when I was talking to him, you know, in this offseason, he was telling me how, you know, every season he's always like, all right, Core, is this the year you want to coach? Because he thinks someday he's going to be such a good coach. And Core's like, no. And he's like, okay, go prove to me you're still good. And then he'll go get rank 1 in solo queue. And he said that's like their yearly tradition. And he's like, all right, he's still got hands.
I like it. I like it. Their bottom lane definitely does have hands. And will that result in Dragon priority for them? They've had a lot of cryo here, but the gold overall, wait a second, see if we get a tight spot here.
Yeah.
Scuttle Crab.
Osadiono's in the middle of everybody. Shockwave already comes down over the top. Labram in danger, trying to get away. Quid finds first blood with a clockwork lined up. Beautifully placed there as C9 wanted to see if they could contest, but TL has the punish.
The synergy here, Jose and Quid picked up by Team Liquid, and they instantly go for a flash shockwave play. Quid then following up one last auto attack. Flashes are invested for them, but remember, first blood.
Oh, Jan's coming in, Sven in some danger, trying to get away from this one. Stun into the wall from Vulcan, keeps his 80 carry alive, but again, it's Jan and Core relentless in the bottom lane 2v2.
I was just going to say that it is worth flashing for first bloods again. It actually feels so nice that they put the gold back on it. It's not just the feats quest anymore. Get that thing out of here. We got some real rewards for getting first blood bonus. So well worth investing there, I think, from Quid and Jose to be able to get that. And then, as you say, this bottom lane pressure is unrelenting.
Yeah, I mean, they're going right at. I also love that the gold is back in first tower. That feels really, really good, too. Those are great changes in my mind. You know, it's aggressive plays, but they are able to punish Blabber. And Blabber has not really been able to affect any lanes just yet. He doesn't have any sort of a CS advantage over Jose. So I think TL are super happy with the pace of this game. They're pressuring on that bot side nonstop. And here it is one more time. The ball is right on Jose's head. And he's just going to find his moment and go straight in onto Blabber. Flash in with that Q3 prepped. Instant knock-up. Shockwave there. Blabber has no ability to flash away from that Shockwave.
Yeah. Jose's eyes were on Blabber. Guess where Blabber's eyes were?
Crab.
For crab, for sure, baby. He was looking at that juicy crab, and TL
Blabber's getting caught again.
Hold on, Blabber. If he dies a second time, it's tragedy for the C9 jungler.
Quid, hello? During the replay, we got to investigate how he got in there. He's going for the invade Orianna. It does cost you, you know, some increased quest progress when these laners are going for invades like that into the jungle, but your quest progress gets refunded because you got a kill, and kills give way more. So Quid, here we go. Beautiful replay. Thank you very much, observers. And we see Quid just chase him down. And it is
phase rush.
It is just insane. Orianna here, the ultimate came back up for Quid. And he deletes Blabber again.
I mean, that was really well played. You know, Blabber thought, okay, I have more than enough mobility. I can clear this ward, then get out of there. But that phase rush proc allows him to chase him down in the jungle, gets back in range for the Shockwave, gets a second kill. And just like that, Quid is really accelerated. Top lane, yes, there is this nice little CS lead for Thanatos. He's a couple waves ahead, but it's Sion. And if you haven't really blown it open at this point, it usually is not going to get out of control.
Yeah. I mean, you talked about it at the beginning of the day before the game even started, but Quid was the most eligible bachelor of all the LCS. All the teams were trying to court him, and for a good reason. Quid is a star. And being able to chase down Blabber, who on Nidalee, you know, this is a champion where you have so much mobility that you do feel like you have the pass to go do types of stuff like that. But Orianna, really nice usage of all the extra speed boost there. And red buff is your second reward on top of your 2 kills, on top of all this gold that he has. Red buff, by the way, feels really nice again. It got some good buffs, especially for the early game.
We didn't get to talk about it yet, but you know, that play where we did see the first blood onto Blabber, it's like the double flash spent there. APA still has his flash. You know, I want to see C9 look to attack Quid, but that is why TL are playing behind him. This is the flashless Orianna against the Azir with flash. If you can get multiple members there and at least try to punish that, that is something. But Quid nearly has the flash back at this point.
Best defense for Quid is a good offense. How are you going to attack him?
Can't gank me if I gank you.
Exactly. It's genius strategy for him. He's just going to go invade the jungler.
All right, we've got no neutral objectives to play for quite a while now. 4 minutes on the next Drake because Jose Diodo claimed the first one just 60 seconds ago. And then the Rift Herald not going to be rearing his head for another 5 minutes or so, but it is C9 with 3 grubs to their name. We'll see if maybe Thanatos can get some pressure in one of the side lanes, put those grubs to good use. But when you're losing in 4 out of 5 positions, it can make it more difficult to push up and really get some plate money. Quid's going to go ahead, grab the second plate from mid lane.
And honestly, I feel like with the nerfs to Void Grubs, I don't know if anyone else feels as strongly, but I think they are just garbage. I think they are trash now. So if one team is stacking dragons and then you get the Void Grubs, I feel like that is a super uneven trade. And it was like they kind of forced you into just taking the constellation prize.
Jan? Very low on HP there. Luckily does not get caught by the Tempered Fate. Team Liquid's going to walk away on this one. Core with a nice bubble. Yawn still in a little bit of danger. Defensive tidal wave. Make sure that C9 aren't going to get anything else. Wind becomes lightning over the wall from Jose. Connects on no target. But as TL reinforced with their jungler, C9's got to walk away.
Yeah, that was a near thing, though. You know, Yawn getting aggressive. If Vulcan had actually hit that ulti, there was no flash. Nidalee likely would have come in, and they probably could have finished him off, but because that misses, because of the great bubble, Jan is able to walk away, and look how quickly Core has him top right back up. That Nami sustain is why they are trading so aggressively. They want these trades constantly.
Meanwhile, on the top side, Thanatos invested his ultimate. Renekton ultimate is one of your big kill possible windows. Morgan, though, has been doing a good job trying to hold him off, just farming up as much as he can on the top side. Does get the pop-up for quest completion for both of them here, and Thanatos has been able to get his little CS lead here for Renekton and get his turret plate money. But in the end, you do get a team fighting Scion for later for the side of TL, and they knew that they were opting into this when they saw the Renekton Nidalee lock-ins on the side of Cloud9. So if you're on the TL side, you got to be feeling pretty dang good about the way that this game is going.
Yeah, they got to be really, really happy. You know, Thanatos definitely still at a much stronger point right now if there were to be a team fight once his ultimate is back, because he's on the Black Cleaver. When you make that pit stop for the Bramble, of course, that is going to slow things down. APA taking a trade here.
Oh, another ulti there from Quid. Can't threaten anything lethal this time, and APA just runs him through with the spear. Nice solo kill from the C9 mid.
Let me see some all chat here. Come on, where's the response, APA?
He's recalling. There we go.
Okay, he's on board. Yeah, he had to finish up the minion wave.
Had to finish the minion wave.
APA's changed, actually. You know, before he would just instantly type even while he's like CSing, you know. Now he's like focused. He's locked in. I got to collect my gold. Then I'll have the luxury to type. It's a very short as well, very short. You know?
This is why you got to mute him before the game starts. He's not going to give you an inch. And let's see again how he found it.
So Quid just invested in like this Core JJ sustain. I feel like he had really a lot of confidence there. I think he was just counting on, all right, I'm going to do this heavy trade. I have Core behind me. It'll be fine. And he just underestimated the extra soldier damage here from Azir. And his shield plus Core JJ kind of walking back over was not enough to keep him up. So that's a big shutdown for Cloud9. And this makes it way more interesting because this double Shurima carries I was talking about in Champ Select here, you know, even though bottom lane's been getting pushed in a lot, Sven's been farming okay. And now that AP has gotten a kill back in mid lane, this Azir on one item power spike is under attack.
Okay, APA tries to get out, but Jose Diodo is ready to flash follow. Quid's gonna flash here as well, and Jose, he's a jungler after my own heart. He's gonna take that kill himself. Make sure that he gets accelerated in this game. 3-1 TL.
This Jose pickup here, this Jose Quid synergy, I'm liking what I'm seeing already, and this is very early on here from them. That's going to lead into Dragon number 2 stacking for TL. Again, Dragon stacking to me is just the most important objectives in the whole game now, with Otacon being removed and top side of the map getting reduced a little bit. Blabber and Vulcan are getting a little bit antsy here, trying to sneak around and
flash.
Look for something.
Quid has no flash. They know it. They're chasing after the Orianna now. He does get caught with a Tempered Fate. Surely this should just be the death of Quid. They want to put that money onto Blabber if they can do it. And there we go. Vulcan and Blabber getting away out of that one. They do at least find the kill, but it is two Drakes favoring Team Liquid.
Yeah, Vulcan unfortunately did take that kill, so no goal for Blabber there. But still, being able to punish that missing flash is really nice. But like you touched on, Kobe, it's great to see the aggressive play from Quid and Jose Diodo. This duo looking good thus far here against Cloud9, but the goal pretty much dead even. I just always get that kind of like worried feeling. If I have a Nidalee on my team and they are even or behind.
You don't have to say anything after the word team there.
Yeah.
I'm just always worried if there's a Nidalee. Because this type of a situation, 0 and 2 start, not being able to really affect the map early, it's the nightmare scenario.
I mean, you basically become poke and healing, right? But they have a Nami, so your poke isn't really that relevant.
Yeah, and I mean, you can try and highlight, some attack speed bonuses for Sivir and Azir a little bit too, but that is reaching.
Yeah, it is.
A little bit. Yeah, it is. But, you know, that's what we're looking for here. Like I said, I still think they have lots of ways to play out these team fights here for Cloud9, even as the game does progress here. There is a lot of playmaking available on that squad, but TL, they just seem really locked in at the moment. Moving over to Rift Herald, there's some really nice, you know, rewards here with Rift Herald, with so much value out of towers just being instantly accessible. You don't have to take the complete tower to get the gold.
Okay, here comes your dive. Morgan's going to try to get away, but they put APA in front of him, so he cannot use the ulti to get all the distance he wants. Morgan tries to get back underneath the turret, but Thanatos, APA, and Vulcan together are enough to force the 3v1, find the kill in exchange for the Herald that Jose Diodo got in the top side, and now that's immediately summoned up, so Jose and Quid can take the tier 1.
Our last couple of sequences have been Team Liquid going for the objective, and Cloud9 saying, okay, fine, you can have that objective. We're going to get a kill somewhere else. First time for Dragon, it was going after Quid, ignoring the Dragon, going for the kill there. This time for Rift Herald, they do get the bottom side. But again, Rift Herald does get guaranteed value now since turret plates give you a lot of the gold, and so it actually feels a lot nicer. APA, though, will finish up at least the tower on bottom side.
Yep, you're going to get the plates off the tier 2 as well. You know, there's plates on all of these towers except for the Nexus tower. Yep. So, you know, in tier 2s, tier 3. So even though they don't kill the tier 2, still more gold there for Quid as Blabber again.
Blabber has to flash away from the shockwave, or it would have been a third death for this Nidalee.
And it's Echoes of Hylia, so he is going into more that supportive style. He has bought up that item. We also have the Bandle Pipes for Vulcan that I was showing earlier, you know, on that lower third. Bandle Pipes are ridiculously
They're
OP.
Super OP.
It's basically anything that can use it should use it. Bard slows with the Meep autos is going to apply that. So, you know, with the additional attack speed from the Nidalee plus the Bandle Pipes attack speed, it's not bad. Like, it becomes pretty relevant for both the Sivir as well as the Azir.
At the very least, it did get the cost increase this patch. So 300 more gold to still get an OP item went from like extremely OP and cheap to just OP.
Yep. that's that kill he took on Quid. That's his 300 gold.
Instead of S++, it's just S.
It's still really good. You can be a little bit more discerning on who you're going to get it on now. Just a little bit.
No. you just buy it.
I feel like
just pay the money.
Yeah.
We've forgotten the sins of the long ago times of Aegis of the Legion. Like, aura stats are really strong in League of Legends.
And then speaking of the echoes there, it does require or at least greatly increase effectiveness if you're still doing damage. And Nidalee,
gotta hit the poke.
The damage is conditional,
So Sven? Oh, super low on that one. Yon and Core JJ are just keeping the gas pedal down against this guy all game long.
Yeah, that is just frightening damage. I mean, when you have that mandate, you throw up the E-buff, Yon just walks forward. Sven cannot fight that. It's not even close. He had to use a spell shield, had to use the barrier, had to use the ulti. And really, nothing was committed over on that other side.
Okay, Yon exhausted, has to Valk away. Loses about 60% HP and hits him with the Papega Frog. Sidesteps Tempered Fate yet again. Nicely done. Yon's just letting him know. Nice try.
Yeah, I mean, Vulcan just has not been able to hit these ultis at all. And Blabber barely missed the spear. It was on that bound target, but I believe it clipped a minion, so he couldn't fully connect and actually commit to that play.
Got to hit some skill shots here if you're going to turn this game back around for Cloud9. Currently down the Dragons. You know, the early couple ones you don't start to sweat too much, but number 3 is coming up in 12 seconds here. And Team Liquid already trying to move in to take the vision so they can actually win the fight first. Morgan here.
Yeah, Morgan's going to see Vulcan, but a quick magical journey through the wall means that the C9 support is fine. Core JJ also, very importantly, sidestepped the spear that was coming out from Blabber there. So full health bars on TL. APA still very far away. No teleport ready for that C9 mid laner. Thanatos wrapping around from the side, looking for the angle here against Team Liquid. He's already popped the dominance. He's charging up some fury. Vulcan gets away. Magical journey through the wall. Quid throws the ball, finds Thanatos. TL trying to position respectfully towards that flanking Renekton. Dragon's losing his patience. He's going to reset back towards the pit. 4,000 HP.
Going to expire.
Team Liquid still trying to make this one happen. Thanatos full fury, but no dominus. Tidal Wave flies out. Jose Diodo trying to stay on top of the Dragon. Thanatos here with a flash forward. Tries to be the front line. Instead going to be taken down. Jose Diodo grabbing the kill, but Morgan is traded back. It's 1-for-1 here on the top lane as Jose has to try to make his way back into front. This might, but he won't get it here just yet. APA disengaging. Morgan's dead body finally gone. Tempered Fate hits nothing. APA down to 100 HP as Quid is still looking. Team Liquid going to walk away from this one, and ultimately it's a 1-for-1, and C9 stops the Drake stack.
Oh, just barely. Cloud9 edged out.
Yeah, APA on the side here was getting so much damage down on Morgan. Look at Morgan as he was trying to walk in, was kind of getting cooked by these soldiers. So even though Thanatos' ult expired before the fight, Morgan died just as fast, and then it became all about APA on the side, creating space for Blabber to secure the Dragon. Then as he gets chunked low here, the flash looks a little bit funny, but I think he's scared of a flash auto following, so I think he wanted to early flash to perhaps avoid that.
Okay, Cloud9 bringing it back. This is what we wanted from our first series of the LCS returning in 2026. They get this gold right back within reach. Dragon picked up for Cloud9 as well. And now we get to see that Shurima power talking about for the carries. Crit synergies have come in for Sven. Big IE crits can come through. And you saw the power of the Rylai's second item for APA in the previous one. It helps out so much.
So annoying.
The extra slow CC is very, very valuable and allows them to play out these team fights much, much easier. So Cloud9 getting their side of the team fights operational.
And I mean, Morgan obviously is picking up some MR now, trying to build towards that, but you were laning against Thanatos. He had a lot of armor early on. He had the Sunfire, he had the Bramble, so there's a lot of gold invested in this physical damage reduction. Left him pretty vulnerable to APA, and this tower could just get rushed down.
Yeah, they're going for the tier 1. Vulcan, Tempered Fate onto 2, connects it this time. Follow-up not going to be there. Jose and Yon trying to get back over the wall. C9 reinforcing with every man on the map. The tier 1 still stands. Yon chunked by a spear, but immediately healed up by Core JJ. C9 take control back over their side of the jungle.
Yeah, Morgan during this whole time is pushing mid lane, so they're trying to get mid lane priority, which is going to draw Sven over to farm the rest of it. And they might even go for an extra play here. Team Liquid on the top.
Oh, C9, they try to stop it. Defensive ulti coming out from APA. Quid and Jose Diodo going forward. Wind becomes lightning, and here's your Xin Zhao ulti. APA's already down. Jose Diodo taking the kill. Thanatos on the run. Here comes Morgan like a freight train out of the jungle, and it's Core JJ taking the kill. It's Yon taking the turret. It's Team Liquid taking everything they want in the bottom lane.
Once again, the macro from Team Liquid is really exquisite here. Morgan stays mid, pushes mid, draws Sven over to that side, and then they can reenact this play on the bottom side. They go for the dive, and since Morgan is on Sion, he can get there quicker. Just ult on over, chase down the extra kills here. Really nicely done once again. Jose has been such a star pickup here for TL. It's good to see him return to the LCS, and he actually gets shoved outside here. They can easily chase on through, though, with the Nami, with the Orianna, both of them speeding up the extra chase down.
I mean, this is just really, really well played by TL. They send 4 down towards bot. C9 respond with 5, so they just leave Morgan there. They disengage on the 4, and not only Sven went mid lane, but Vulcan showed mid too, which I think was kind of that big issue, is you show multiple members there in that mid lane, and then of course TL are going to look for the re-engage. They punish there, they take the tower. TL playing the map so well, still have that Dragon advantage here, up 2K now. It is a gold lead for Morgan now on the Sion at this point, and he is going to become a real problem in the front line.
I can visualize the chat now, spamming the Tuki for Jose from his stream. And there's a look at the history of this guy. Really outstanding stuff so far this series. I think it's pretty unquestionable that he has outclassed Blabber in this game with a lot of the initiative that TL members, both him and Quid, have taken. But they have yet here to really turn it into a full breaking point for this game. Cloud9 are very much still capable of taking over these team fights. APA has a key component that Flowers absolutely loves and hates.
It's my favorite item in the game, Kobe. Wowie.
It's the arm guard for Azir. APA doesn't have his flash currently, but he does have some extra playmaking ability there.
Yeah, I mean, I just always feel like the later the game goes, though, the harder and harder it gets for these comps that, need to land the poke, that need to find these big engages.
Yeah.
C9 has just not been able to really hit the skill shots when it counts. Almost all the Bard ults have missed at important moments, where I feel like every time we're seeing a Spirit's hitting a minion or nothing, we're just not really seeing the coordination there on these plays and the execution when it really counts, and it's just going to get harder and harder. When we get to the stage that Morgan is just perma-grouped, the Spears are just going to get tanked by him. That Spear does still hurt if it's a Nami, but those have been few and far between.
Yep, Core's going to be able to heal himself up. We do have the next Dragon alive now. Tempered Fate hits Jose Diodo, but nobody else. Vulcan tries to stun him up into the wall, loses half his HP for it. Morgan's looking to wrap around here, but the Sun Disc stops the flank from going all the way. Morgan backing up a little bit as poke is traded back and forth from either side.
Yeah, Morgan feels so confident here. He's got his Jack Show done for Sion here. The durability is just through the roof, so he's just trying to fight Thanatos to stay in combat, stack up his Jack Show, and you can see he's like infinitely taking, plus he has the Nami sustain here, so massive resistances, massive front line here for Team Liquid. They're trying to bully Cloud9 anywhere away from this objective. and I think they're going to successfully do that. Thanatos trying to find a way in.
Yep, Thanatos wanted it, but immediate Valk from Yawn as C9 all take a magical journey to stay grouped up. Sven is separated from the rest of the team right now, and C9 is going to begin the Drake. Goes to the Odo. Here on the front line, Team Liquid, they jump in, they find the engagement of APA. He's already forced to use the arm guard. He flashes out and stays alive as Thanatos tries to disrupt Yawn, but now Jose's ready with the re-engage. Morgan looking to keep the pressure on Sven. Decimating smash, no stun. Dragon down to 3,000. C9 still regrouping, but health bars are injured. TL looking to DPS the Drake, and they will take it. This is what C9's Drake last time bought them. This is not Soul, but TL arrive at Soul Point.
Yeah, and they've got control of the map. I mean, another really good engage from Jose and Quid. This combo here, they find another shockwave onto the Azir. Let's take a look at the resources blown by APA, and it's just Jose hit his W onto the Azir as he's moving back and forth, and it cost APA his arm guard and the flash, which had to be used defensively.
And really, it cost him the whole fight, because even though he lives, he's so low he can't re-engage. He can never step up. He'll get flashed on and killed. Jose feeling happy about that one, and rightfully so. He is playing great in his debut with TL.
I swear, for me at least, that W is hard to hit. It's kind of skinny, okay? But he has been nailing it every single time. You talk about
spoken like a Ball of Bear.
True.
It's not a giant circle.
Also, it speaks to the discrepancy between hitting your skill shots. And, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
I'd say the W for Xin is about as skinny as a Nidalee spear.
There you go.
They're both a spear ability. Yeah. One of them you just chuck it, and the other one you stab it. Easy. Now, Team Liquid, they are still in a 2,000 gold lead game state, but that is still playable for C9. You've got the Hourglass fully purchased for APA, so now you can use the Stasis again, and they really need to see a big Shurima shuffle here if they want to have a favorable fight, I feel.
Well, the other thing I really talk about a lot when you have Renekton is TP flanks. All right, where's your TP wards? There's nothing. They have a crab.
Yeah.
But there's no ward across the map. There's not even a ward in the river except for this one in the Baron Pit right there. So, you know, C9 has no forward vision. If Renekton just has to walk straight at them in the team fights, he is pretty useless, and that's mostly what these team fights have been for Thanatos. He has not been able to find a single good angle. Yeah. You know, even in that one where he's wrapped around behind, his ult expired before he even went forward.
Which is kind of why we're seeing, oh, the Azir was the one furthest up and gets hit by a Xin. W is within range of that, is because of, you know, a frontline difference.
No tank.
Sion difference here. That's why even when you're getting, you know, 20, 30 CS advantages for some of these matchups of, you know, bruisers or carry champions versus Sion, you always have that feeling. I would love to have that beef ball zombie on my team later.
All right, C9, let's see what you guys can do to come back into this one. We do have Baron on the map. He's been there for the last 9 minutes or so, but nobody's confident enough to take a stroll over there just yet. You are seeing some pings toward that topside river, but it is just about 2 minutes until what'll be Mountain Soul for the side of TL. C9 has got to make sure they stop it.
Also got to say, the carries that I keep on alluding to for Cloud9, scaling away, 3-item power spikes are really big for both Azir and for Sivir here. Sven getting that Lord Doms. We will see, does this actually make it that much
Giant Slayer is back.
Exactly, and it works so well versus Sion. So does this make it that much less scary? Is Sven in a capable, you know, place right now? Are they able to peel for him? Is he able to auto attack actually? Because if that Sivir can fully auto attack, then the damage now actually does become very, very meaningful.
Yeah, I completely agree, but the difficulty is that question, like, can you actually auto-attack? And that's always the tough part when you're playing AD carry without a big front line, is there's no one really there to step up and eat damage for you, right? You know, Bard can't do it. Renekton can't really do it. That's why APA is forward and trying to chip and poke and prod and get damage down, because if you just allow TL to play how they want to play, it's a shield on Yawn, it's heals and speed ups on Yawn, and he's just stepping forward and chipping your HP away until you can't even take the fight. So it's going to be difficult for them to find the correct positioning to actually make sure their carries are hitting without getting caught and killed.
Okay, Blabber tosses out the spear. Just going to get some wave clear out of that one. 60 seconds until the Drake spawns, and that bottom side river is fully TL controlled right now.
Small thing too, but it is really nice on the current patch. If you can let your minions or their minions kill off the last little bit of your turret plate, to deny that little bit of extra gold, especially when there are crystals already formed up on your tower, and you know they just wanted to get that one auto and cash in. So minions pretty nice here, but Cloud9 with the pushback.
Yup, they want to let the minions eat the crust, but C9 is going to take some of that themselves.
I don't want to eat the crust.
That's what it is. Minions love turret crust as Vulcan tries to get away through the wall here. Drops the exhaust on Jose Diodo. That's an important cooldown not to have. C9 staying grouped up here in their jungle. They've got to approach into a TL that already has control over the river. Like I said moments ago, C9 did not change that map state in those 60 seconds. TL going to continue to defend the entrance towards this river area, towards this dragon pit.
Okay, everybody has flash ready for this fight. This Dragon Soul fight could be everything.
They look at Quid. They're not going to find anything super valuable here. Wind becomes lightning, tagging multiple Cloud9 players. Quid with a flash away defensively. There's your ulti from the Nami. Thanatos continuing to retreat back towards the rest of C9. Jose Diodo taking a ton of damage. Goes in for the ulti. C9's not really intimidated by it. And now APA, he wants to shuffle. And he hits Quid. Blabber with the shutdown. As the Guardian Angels also proc. Morgan's in the middle of everybody. And Cloud9 roars to life with multiple kills. Morgan's gonna get one back, but it's still 3 for 1 for C9.
They clutch it just in time. Cloud9 when everything is on the line with the Dragon Soul staring them down. They trust in the Azir, in the Sivir damage, and they get it done. Look at multiple re-engages here.
Yeah, I love the space creation here from Thanatos. Flashes forward, then just ease back out to dodge the stun, getting healed back up. That is buying space for Sven and APA to be hitting here. Jose goes forward here, but knocks them back kind of to safety, and then APA realizes, you know what, you are getting low. Thanatos has survived on the side. Yon is getting pushed out. APA just flashes forward, catches Quid there, and then Sven full sends it, flashing in on both Jose as well as Morgan to knock him down. Massive team fight, and they're going to get Baron, maybe.
Yeah, Yon and Core coming to stop it, but no, Blabber's got the smite secure. C9, not only do they stop Soul, they take the Baron and don't lose any additional men doing it. This is a massive swing.
Banger alert here. Game number 1 of the LCS. Being back, Team Liquid and Cloud9 here are going to push it to some late game objectives, okay? We're going to have multiple Barons. I can already foresee it in this game. Baron power play currently, though, 2.5 minutes left for Cloud9. Let's see how much they can actually get done with it.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of gold on the map to grab here. You know, a lot of plates they could farm away on. They're definitely going to get this tier 1 mid pretty easily, I think, unless TL wants to try to force an engage, but that would be difficult. This one's going to go down really fast. Vulcan, dangerous spot.
Yeah, Vulcan's going in, but everybody else is going with them, and now Core JJ shuffled back. They caught themselves a fish out of water, and now they're putting the DPS into Morgan's health bar. A double kill for Sven on the Sivir, and C9's DPS has officially scaled.
We got to get a listen in on the comms for TL there, because I don't know why they are reacting to a magical journey
not
like
even
that.
there.
I mean, yeah, Core JJ walks back to the magical journey where the rest of Cloud9 could take it in, and the Orianna is off in Narnia and top lane over there, and Cloud9 now with this Baron, they blow the base wide open.
Narnia is not a friendly place this time of year, my friends. C9 are bringing the violence to the Team Liquid half of the Rift as they push towards their first tier 3 turret of the game. The mid lane inhibitor will be their target. There's still 25 seconds on Morgan's Scion. Core JJ finally back alive now, but the mid inhib is already down.
Yeah, and I mean, look at bot lane as well, right? They're pushing, they're farming these plates as well, so they're going to get so much gold from this. TL has been looking really good throughout most of this game. They get outplayed in one fight, and then they kind of lost their minds there and got punished so heavily for it. When you're playing this style of composition, you need both your carries there. That's the whole point of Sion going forward, is buying time for them. But if Quid's not there, you don't have nearly enough damage to get anything done.
And like I've been saying, these are two of the best carries of melting tanks, Azir and Sivir. Azir is level 18, so
both have 4 items.
If you count a control ward as a real item, then you can say he's full build.
What? Bro.
In last season, he would have been, because, you know, maybe.
Oh, APA goes in for another big shuffle. Core JJ is going to be the target. Almost killed, but not quite there. Plenty of burst, though, down onto Quinn, and he is gone. Jose and Yon both locked up. Plenty of damage into the carries. There's a double kill back to Thanatos. A triple kill for the Crocodile. Morgan just might be number 4, but it's APA taking the credit. Only Core still standing, and C9 march at the next.
It was TL TL in control. It felt like the whole damn game, but it's C9 showing up when it matters most.
C9 with all 5 alive. They may have trailed for the majority of the game, but they're the ones who will see the enemy nexus in ruins. They will win the first game in this best of 3.
Oh, and APA giving a wave over to his own team there. What a way to start out the LCS.